Welcome, truth seekers, to Bible Revealed. Today, we're not just reading ancient scriptures, we're unlocking them. We're venturing deep into the heart of the Old Testament to uncover forgotten truths, divine mysteries, and the hidden wisdom they didn't want you to know. These aren't just stories, they are windows into the very fabric of creation, into the world of angels and giants, and into the unseen hand of God Himself. So, prepare yourselves, because the veil is about to be lifted. First on our list, the Old Testament wasn't written in a single lifetime. It was meticulously crafted over 1,000 years, stretching from the era of Moses, the great lawgiver, all the way to the final prophets before the silence. Think about that. A millennium of history, revelation, and divine encounter. Each writer, from kings to shepherds, served as a witness to God's incredible power, adding their unique piece to an eternal puzzle. What's truly mind-boggling is how these texts, written across centuries by different people in different circumstances, speak with one unified voice. It's as if a single divine author was guiding every hand, weaving a seamless tapestry of redemption that points to one ultimate truth. This incredible consistency across 1,000 years isn't just a literary marvel, it's a testament to its divine origin. Next, let's talk about language. The Old Testament wasn't written in just one tongue, it speaks in 3 sacred languages: Hebrew, Aramaic, and even contains traces of ancient Egyptian. Each language is like a key, unlocking deeper layers of meaning. Hebrew, the primary language, is especially profound. In Hebrew, names are not just labels. They often reveal a person's character, purpose, or destiny. For example, the name Adam literally means "of the earth," connecting humanity to its humble origins. Eve means life-giver, highlighting her role as the mother of all living. It's not just names either. The very structure and vocabulary of the text are filled with clues. Every word, every phrase seems chosen with divine precision, showing that the language itself is part of the revelation. It's a coded message, waiting for those with eyes to see and ears to hear. Let's go back to the very beginning, Genesis. The first words of the entire Bible set everything into motion. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. But what was there before the light, before the stars, before the mountains and seas? Before our physical universe, there was only God and the unseen spiritual realm. According to ancient interpretations and related texts, even the angels, those celestial beings of light, were created before the earth. The Book of Job tells us that when God laid the foundations of the world, the morning stars, often interpreted as angels, sang together and shouted for joy. This paints a breathtaking picture. Our creation wasn't a silent, sterile event. It was a cosmic symphony, celebrated by an audience of heavenly beings who witnessed the birth of our world. And that brings us to the creation of the angels themselves. Before God formed Adam from the dust, He brought forth another creation. The angels, magnificent beings of light, fire, and spirit. The Old Testament gives us fascinating, though often veiled, glimpses into their world. We see angels as messengers, like Gabriel, and as mighty warriors, like Michael. They were created to serve and worship God, but not all remained faithful. A great rebellion, led by a powerful cherub, erupted in the heavens. This was a war that predates human history, a cosmic conflict that resulted in 1/3 of the angels being cast out, forever changing the spiritual landscape. The Old Testament hints at this celestial drama, showing us that before humanity's fall in the Garden of Eden, there was another, even greater fall, one that set the stage for the spiritual battle that continues to this day. Now let's turn to one of the most remarkable figures in all of Scripture, Moses. Moses wasn't just any prophet. While God spoke to other prophets through dreams, visions, or riddles, the Bible tells us that with Moses, God spoke face to face as a man speaks to his friend. Can you even imagine that? And to hear the very voice that commanded the universe into existence, the voice that split the Red Sea, now whispering secrets and laws to one man on a desolate mountain. This intimate relationship with the Almighty left a physical mark on him. After spending time in God's presence on Mount Sinai, Moses' face shone with such a brilliant, divine light that he had to wear a veil. The people were terrified to even look at him. His radiance was a living, breathing testament to the profound and awesome reality of standing in the presence of the Holy God. In the ancient world described in Genesis, time itself seemed to flow differently. People lived for centuries, and none lived longer than Methuselah, the grandfather of Noah. He lived for an astonishing 969 years. His lifespan is so long it's almost mythical. But here's where it gets truly mysterious. The name Methuselah can be interpreted to mean his death shall bring judgment. And what happened in the very year he died? The great flood. The waters that cleansed the world began in the same year that the oldest man on earth passed away. Was this merely a coincidence, or was it a sign of divine timing? A signal that God's patience had reached its end and that the grace period for a corrupt world was over. Methuselah's life was like a countdown clock, and when his time was up, the old world was washed away to make way for a new beginning. Speaking of the flood, let's consider Noah's Ark. This was no small boat. Forget the cartoonish images you've seen. The Bible gives us its exact dimensions: 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet high. To put that in perspective, that's the size of a modern cargo ship, a massive 3-story vessel built not with advanced technology, but with simple tools and unwavering faith. It was an architectural and engineering feat beyond imagination for its time. Inside this floating sanctuary, the breath of every kind of life was preserved. Every species, every heartbeat was protected from the raging storm by divine design. And when the floodgates of heaven opened and the fountains of the deep burst forth, the entire world that once was, its civilizations, its wickedness, its giants, disappeared beneath the waves, with only the ark and its precious cargo surviving as a promise of a new dawn. Now for something truly controversial: the forgotten Book of Enoch. Lying just outside the canon of our modern Bible is a mysterious and fascinating ancient text known as the Book of Enoch. This book was highly regarded by many early Christians and is even quoted in the New Testament. It tells a more detailed story of the sons of God, mentioned in Genesis 6, angels called the Watchers, who descended to earth, took human wives, and corrupted mankind. According to Enoch, these fallen angels taught humanity forbidden knowledge, weaponry, sorcery, and dark secrets. Their offspring were the Nephilim, a race of powerful giants who filled the earth with violence. Though this book was ultimately left out of most versions of the Bible, its stories of fallen angels and giants offer a chilling explanation for the extreme wickedness that brought about the Great Flood. It's a missing piece of the puzzle, a warning from another age. Let's return to Mount Sinai. When God gave his law to Israel, it wasn't just a verbal command. The 10 Commandments, the moral foundation for humanity, were inscribed on 2 tablets of stone. And who wrote them? Not Moses, not an angel, but God himself. The book of Exodus says they were written with the finger of God. Think about the sheer weight of that, the creative force of the universe, condescending to carve his will directly into the rock of the earth. These weren't merely suggestions or a set of rules. They were the terms of a sacred covenant between heaven and earth. The divine law, permanent and unchangeable, etched in stone by God's own hand. It's one of the most direct and tangible interventions of God in human history, a moment where the veil between the realms was incredibly thin. Finally, let's explore the hidden tears of the prophet Jeremiah. After the glorious city of Jerusalem was conquered and destroyed by the Babylonians, the prophet Jeremiah was left to walk among the ruins. His heart broke for his people and his city. Out of this profound grief, he wrote the Book of Lamentations, a raw, poetic, and deeply sorrowful account of the desolation. Ancient tradition says that as he wrote, his tears literally stained the pages of the scroll. But this book is more than just a song of sorrow. Hidden within the pain is a powerful thread of hope. In the midst of ruin, Jeremiah declares, "The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases, his mercies never come to an end." It's a beautiful and powerful mystery that even in our darkest moments of judgment and loss, God's grief is present, and his promise of restoration and mercy never, ever dies. The Old Testament isn't just a book of ancient history. It is a mirror reflecting eternity, a divine library filled with encrypted truths. Every story, every law, every prophecy, and every name hides something deeper, a mystery waiting to be revealed for those who dare to look. If you enjoyed this journey into the hidden truths of the Bible, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs to see it, and subscribe to Bible Revealed. We have so much more to uncover together as we continue to reveal the secrets the world forgot. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next revelation.